You feel a weight on the nape of your neck. It is not muscular pain, it is not common stress. It is something that tightens, that pulls downward, as if someone had placed an invisible hand on your shoulders and does not let go. You wake up tired. You sleep tired. You work tired. And even when everything seems to be well in your life, inside something is not. I am going to tell you what that is. And more. I'm going to tell you what has just been removed from you. If this video reached you now, it was not by chance. In the next few minutes, I will show you where this weight comes from, why it stuck to you, and what the angel of divine justice has done regarding you. Stay until the end, because the last part of this video will completely change the way you feel from today onward. Let us go straight to the point. There is a difference between physical exhaustion and spiritual exhaustion. Physical exhaustion, you rest and it passes. You slept 8 hours. You woke up well. You took a weekend off. You recharged. But spiritual exhaustion is different. It does not obey rest. It does not respect vacations. It is there when you open your eyes in the morning. It is there when you try to sleep at night. And it is there in the moments when, theoretically, you should be at peace. You know that Sunday afternoon when everyone in the family is gathered. The food is good. No one is fighting, but you look out the window and feel a tightness in your chest. That is not sadness. That is spiritual weight. And I know you have already tried to resolve this in various ways. Perhaps you went to the doctor. Perhaps you had exams. Perhaps you even started taking something for anxiety. And look, I am not saying that is wrong. Taking care of the body is fundamental. But when the cause is not physical, physical treatment alone does not suffice. And deep down, very deep down, you know this. Now answer me one thing with sincerity. How many times in recent months have you felt that you were carrying something that was not yours? How many times have you looked around and thought, why do I feel this way if my life is not even that bad? How many times have you felt pressure on the nape of your neck, on your shoulders, at the base of the skull, as if someone had literally hung a weight there? If you said yes to any of these questions, then this video was made exactly for you. But before continuing, I need to ask you one thing. If this content is already making sense to you, leave your like now. It is not for vanity. It is because the algorithm needs to understand that this type of content helps real people. A like from you makes this video reach someone who is in as much need as you are, agreed? Then let us proceed. The weight on the nape has a name in the spiritual world. Different traditions call it by different names. Karmic load, energetic debt, spiritual impregnation, accumulated dense energy. But the effect is the same in all of them. It is as if you were walking through life with an invisible backpack full of stones. And the worst part, most of the time these stones are not even yours. Let me explain how this works. On the spiritual plane, we do not live in isolation. Each person who passes through your life leaves an energetic mark. Each environment you frequent deposits something in you. Each strong emotion you have lived, anger, fear, guilt, resentment, creates a kind of residue that accumulates. Over time, this accumulation becomes so great that your body begins to give signs, and the first place where this manifests is in the region of the nape and the shoulders. It is no coincidence. The nape is considered in various spiritual and energetic traditions the point of connection between your physical body and the spiritual field. The Hindus call it Vishuddha, the laryngeal chakra, which is located exactly in that region. In traditional Chinese medicine, there is a point called Feng Fu at the base of the skull, considered a gateway for external energies. In Spiritism, one speaks of the fluidic connection that obsessors establish precisely in this area. In other words, when you feel that weight on the nape, it is not just muscular tension. It is a clear sign that something is stuck there, something that should not be. Perhaps you are thinking, but I am a person of faith, I attend my church, I say my prayers. Why do I still feel this weight? And that is precisely the question many people ask, and few have the courage to answer. Having faith does not make you immune to spiritual load. On the contrary, often the more spiritually sensitive you are, the more weight you absorb. It is like being a sponge. People with high spiritual sensitivity pick up everything around them: the anguish of a colleague, the anger of a neighbor, the despair of a stranger on the subway. You absorb it without realizing, and it accumulates until the body screams. And the body screams in ways we do not always recognize. That insomnia that appeared out of nowhere, that ringing in the ear that doctors cannot explain, that nervous gastritis that does not respond to medicine, that headache that always starts at the nape and rises behind the eyes. These are signs. They are warnings from your body saying, there is too much here. I need help. And now I'm going to reveal something to you that might change your perspective on all of this. Pay attention, because this is the central point of the video. This weight you carry was not placed on you by chance. It has an origin, and in the vast majority of cases, this origin is divided into 3 categories. The first category is family emotional heritage. Think with me. How many generations of your family lived in scarcity? How many women in your lineage swallowed their tears? How many men in your family learned they could not show weakness? Science has already proven this. There is a field of study called epigenetics that shows that emotional traumas can be transmitted genetically. Researchers at Emory University in the United States demonstrated that mice exposed to traumatic experiences transmitted fear responses to their descendants, even if those descendants had never lived that experience. Now think about what that means for you. Your grandmother who lost everything. Your grandfather who worked his whole life without ever being recognized. Your mother who endured in silence. All of that left a mark, and that mark was passed to you. The second category is energetic absorption from the environment. Do you work in a heavy place? Do you live with people who complain all the time? Do you frequent environments where the energy is dense? Hospitals, notary offices, bank lines, crowded public transport? Each of these places deposits layers of energy on you. It is like walking in an environment with invisible dust. You do not see it, but when you get home and look in the mirror, you are covered. Except this energetic dust does not come off with a common bath. It sticks, and over time it weighs. The third category, and this is the hardest to accept, are unresolved spiritual contracts. Before you close this video thinking I am talking about things that are too abstract, give me 2 more minutes. Various spiritual traditions around the world, from Tibetan Buddhism to Kardecist Spiritism, from indigenous shamanism to Kabbalah, speak about agreements made in other existences, situations in which your soul assumed commitments, debts, or responsibilities that have not yet been settled, and these pending matters manifest as weight, as a blockage, as that feeling that you do everything right, but nothing moves forward. Now tell me, did you identify with any of these 3? Write there in the comments, 1, 2, or 3, depending on which made the most sense to you. I read all the comments, and I want to know what your reality is. Well, now that you understand where the weight comes from, I need to tell you what happened, and here is where this video becomes different from everything you have ever watched on this subject. There exists on the spiritual plane a hierarchy of beings of light whose function is to re-establish balance. Different traditions give different names: angels of justice, lords of karma, guardians of the cosmic law. The name does not matter as much. What matters is the function. These beings act when a soul is ready to be released from a load that has already fulfilled its purpose. And here is the key to everything. The spiritual load is not punishment, it is learning. When the learning is concluded, the load loses its reason for existing, and it is at that moment that the angel of justice acts. He does not remove the load out of pity. He removes it because the load no longer belongs to you. You have already learned what you needed to learn. And if this video reached you today, it is because that moment is now. Think of your trajectory. Think of everything you have already gone through. The sleepless nights, the swallowed tears, the moments when you wanted to give up, but did not give up. The times you helped someone even when no one helped you. The sacrifices that no one saw, the difficult choices that no one applauded, all of that was not in vain. All of that was the process. All of that was the path to here. And do you know what is most beautiful in all of this? You did not break. The weight was real, the pain was real, the loneliness of carrying everything alone was real, but you did not break. And that is no small thing. That is the proof that there is something inside you that is greater than any load. There is a force that sustained you even when you thought you would not endure. And that force has a name. Some call it God. Others call it the universe. Others call it essence. The name does not matter. What matters is that this force never abandoned you. And it is this same force that is now saying, enough. This weight is no longer necessary. You may let go. And now the weight is being removed. I want you to do one thing now while you are watching this video. Place your hand on the nape of your neck. Feel that region. Breathe deeply. Inhale through the nose and release through the mouth. Do this with me now. Inhale, hold, release. One more time. Inhale, hold, release. Did you feel it? This lightness that is beginning to appear is not imagination. It is the beginning of a real process. When consciousness recognizes the load begins to dissolve. That is how it works. Spirituality and psychology agree on this point. The first step toward healing is recognition. As long as you deny the weight, it stays. When you look at it and say, I know you are there, and I know you no longer belong to me, it begins to lose strength. But I need to warn you about something. And this is very important. The removal of the spiritual load does not mean that everything will be perfect overnight. What happens is different and better. What happens is that you will begin to feel clarity. Situations that previously paralyzed you will begin to have solutions. People who drained your energy will begin to move away naturally. Opportunities that seemed blocked will begin to appear. And each day, that weight on the nape will decrease. It is not magic, it is spiritual consequence. Do you know what I noticed talking to thousands of people who follow this channel? Most people over 35 years old in Brazil are living on autopilot. They wake up, work, take care of the house, take care of the children, pay the bills, and when night comes, nothing is left. No energy is left to dream, no disposition is left to create, no space is left to live. And then the person thinks, it must be this way, it must be age, it must be adult life. But it is not. It is not this way. That is the weight speaking. That is the spiritual load consuming your vital energy and making you believe that permanent exhaustion is normal. It is not normal. And from now on, I'm going to give you 3 concrete practices to accelerate this removal process that has already begun. It is not theory. These are actions you can apply today, now, in your home, without needing anything special. The first practice is the cleansing of the nape with intention. Every night before sleeping, you will place your hand on the nape and say mentally or out loud, I release everything that is not mine. I return to the origin everything that was deposited in me without my permission. I am free. Do this for 7 consecutive nights. Repetition creates an energetic pattern that your spiritual field recognizes. It is like reprogramming a system. In the first few days, you may feel more drowsiness, intense dreams, or even a slight dizziness. This is normal. It is the process of spiritual detoxification happening. The second practice is the conscious discharge bath. I'm not talking about a complicated ritual. I'm talking about something simple. During your daily bath, when the water is falling on your nape, visualize that it is taking away everything that is heavy. Imagine that the water is dissolving a dark layer that envelops your shoulders and your nape. While doing this, breathe deeply and release the air with force, as if you were blowing out a candle. This combination of water, visualization, and breathing is extraordinarily powerful. Water is considered a spiritual conductor in practically all traditions of the world. In Candomblé, it is sacred. In Catholicism, it is used in baptism. In Hinduism, the Ganges River purifies. Water carries away that which you release. The third practice, and this is the most powerful of all, is strategic forgiveness. Attention. I am not telling you to forgive those who hurt you because the person deserves it. I am telling you to forgive because the weight of the resentment is on your nape, not on theirs. It works like this. You will take a piece of paper and write the names of 3 people who caused you pain. It can be father, mother, ex, boss, friend, brother, anyone. Then for each name you will write, I release you. I release myself. This story between us has already fulfilled its purpose. You do not need to feel like it. You do not need to feel love. Strategic forgiveness is not about emotion. It is about decision. You are deciding that that situation will no longer cost you energy. And when you do that, the angel of justice has permission to remove the last layer of weight that still remained. I know this may seem too simple. I know your rational mind might be saying, this will not work, but answer me one thing. What has your rational mind already resolved regarding this exhaustion? Until now, nothing. So perhaps it is time to try something different. And for you to have a dimension of what I am talking about, let me tell you something that happens all the time, and that perhaps you recognize in your own life. There are people who go to the doctor, have all the exams, and return with everything normal. Perfect blood count, thyroid functioning, vitamins in place. But the person remains exhausted, remains in pain, remains with that feeling that they are living at 50% of their capacity. And the doctor says, it might be emotional. And the person leaves the office frustrated because emotional does not resolve the pain they feel when they get out of bed in the morning. But what no one tells this person is that emotional is only the tip of the iceberg. Below the emotional exists the energetic, and below the energetic exists the spiritual. And it is there, in the deepest layer, that the root of the problem lies. When a person in Brazil, especially over 35 years old, begins to feel this way, they enter a silent spiral. First comes the doubt. Am I getting old? Then comes the comparison. Everyone seems to be fine. Why not me? Then comes the guilt. I should be more grateful. I have so many good things in life. And finally comes the resignation. It must be this way. This spiral is the proof that the weight is active, because a light person does not think this way. A light person recognizes difficulties, yes, but does not surrender to them. The difference between a burdened person and a light person is not in the circumstances. It is in the energy that each one carries with them. And I will tell you one more thing, something I save for those who stay until this part of the video, because those who stay until here are those who really need to hear it. The universe works with cycles. There are spiritual windows, periods in which the collective energy favors release, healing, and renewal. And we are living in one of those windows now. Astrology points to this, numerology points to this, and the reports of thousands of people around the world confirm there is a massive movement of spiritual awakening happening, especially among people over 35 years old, people who spent decades carrying weight and who suddenly are being called to let go. If you are here, you are part of this movement. And I want to give you information that reinforces all of this from an angle that might surprise you, the angle of neuroscience. Research on the vagus nerve, the largest nerve of the parasympathetic nervous system, shows that it passes exactly through the region of the nape and is responsible for regulating stress, inflammation, and the emotional state of the entire body. When this nerve is under constant pressure, the body enters a state of permanent alert. The person lives in survival mode, high cortisol, low immunity, poor sleep, compromised digestion. Now connect the dots. Spirituality says the nape is an energetic portal. Neuroscience says the nape is the regulatory center of the body's balance. Both are saying the same thing with different languages. The weight on the nape affects your spirit and your body at the same time. And the release of this weight is also double, spiritual and physical. Now I want to speak directly to you. Yes, you who are watching this now, perhaps on your cell phone lying in bed, perhaps during a work break, perhaps on the bus returning home. I do not know you personally, but I know some things about you. I know you are a strong person. I know you have already endured things that most people would not endure. I know there are days when you smile on the outside and cry on the inside. I know you take care of everyone, and no one takes care of you. And I know you are tired, not tired of working, tired of carrying. So hear what I am going to tell you now. You have permission to let go. You have permission to become lighter. You have permission to live without this weight. The angel of justice did not remove this load from you for you to continue punishing yourself. He removed it for you to finally live. And to truly live is not to survive. It is not to endure one more day. It is not to pay the bills and wait for the month to end. To truly live is to wake up and feel that there is a purpose. It is to look in the mirror and like who is there. It is to have energy to dream, to create, to laugh, to love. This is not a privilege of young people or rich people. This is the right of every human being, and it is your right now. I'm going to make a request of you. If this video made sense to you, if something in here touched a place you did not even know existed, do 3 things for me. First, subscribe to this channel and activate the bell. I post content every week about spiritual awakening, liberation from loads, and personal transformation. And I guarantee you, the next video will be even deeper than this one. Second, share this video with someone you know is carrying weight. It could be that friend who has been complaining of unexplained shoulder pain. It could be that brother who always seems tired. It could be that colleague at work who lost the spark in their eyes. When you share this video, you are being an instrument of healing. You are being the hands of the angel of justice here on earth. Third, write in the comments the word liberated. Write it now. This is your decree. When you write, you firm in the physical plane that which has already happened in the spiritual plane. Words have power. Your comment is your spiritual signature saying, I accept my liberation. And before closing, I need to leave you with one last truth. The weight that was removed from you does not return. Read it again. It does not return. But, and here is the detail, new weights can be placed if you allow it. That is why the 3 practices I taught you are so important. They do not only serve to heal what has passed, they serve to protect what is coming. Think of them as daily spiritual armor. You do not leave the house without clothes. In the same way, do not leave the house without your energetic protection. From today on, every time you feel that weight trying to return to the nape, you will know what to do. You will place your hand there, breathe deeply, and remember, this is not mine. I have already been liberated, and it will pass. I want you to understand the greatness of what is happening to you. Many people spend their entire lives without receiving this liberation. Many people go to the grave carrying stones that were never theirs, but not you. You were chosen to receive this now. And chosen is not a figure of speech. It is literal. The fact that you clicked on this video, that you stayed until here, that you are feeling what you are feeling at this moment, all of this is proof that there is a larger plan operating in your life. You are not alone, you never were, and from now on you are lighter. In the comments, tell me, how are you feeling at this moment? What changed inside you from the beginning of this video until now? I want to know. Each account that appears in the comments strengthens the chain of healing that this video created. When you share your experience, you help someone who does not yet have the courage to speak. Take care of yourself. Take care of your energy, and remember the weight is gone, now just walk lightly. And one last thing. You know that relief you are already beginning to feel? That subtle sensation that something changed, even if you cannot explain exactly what. Keep that. Protect that. Because in the coming days, you will notice concrete changes. Perhaps a person will get in touch out of nowhere. Perhaps a door will open where before there was only a wall. Perhaps you will wake up one of these days and realize that your nape is light for the first time in months, perhaps in years. When that happens, come back here to this video and tell me. I want to celebrate with you. We will see each other in the next video. And believe me, what comes next will be even more transformative.